Here's a quick one about a guy who definitely put his foot in his mouth at the dinner table when he says something about the future of his marriage in front of his wife and in-laws. However, it actually was, number one, pretty warranted given how his wife's been treating him with how their marriage is going, and two, honestly, what he really wants because it's just going down the tubes. Title: Am I the a-hole for telling my wife I won't be stressed out next year because I won't be married to her? And as you're going to see, all the drama that's going on in their financial life and the problems that she's causing, actually, this isn't a bad idea that he ends it with her. He says, I, a 32-year-old male, have been married to my wife Jen, a 32-year-old female, for a little over 7 years. Up until about 2 years ago, things were great. However, a disastrous move, a few family emergencies, and a totaled car have left us in a terrible financial situation. All our savings are pretty much gone, 401k is empty, and we're hemorrhaging money. Well, there's nothing that will destroy a relationship or marriage more than money problems. And notice, guys, when it rains, it pours. That's usually how life works. It is really unfortunate that they had to drain their 401ks. Hopefully they just took loans from their 401ks so they didn't get any penalties. But that's the last thing you want to do. You want to avoid that at all costs. But they obviously were in a very bad situation. Before we bought our house 2 years ago, things were amazing financially. We made the mistake of buying a nice 3-bedroom house because we plan on having kids. Those plans thankfully got put on the back burner because adding a kid into this mess right now would kill us. It's not really a mystery why things are like this. Jen and I are both underpaid at our jobs, and we moved into a high-cost living area like morons. So it sounds to me that these two are living beyond their means. And they probably moved into a high-cost living area on the basis probably because of the schools. Generally speaking, a higher cost living area has better schools. And of course they wanted to have good things for their kids in the public school system, fair enough. But still, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't buy it, end of fucking story. But when it comes to kids and family and all that, people will do a lot of things it isn't the smartest move financially. And as he said here, we're underpaid our jobs. Okay, a lot of people feel that way. So both parties need to take action to getting better jobs, not just sitting around bitching about it, which, let's be honest, most people will end up just doing. And by the way, out of the floodgates, you're not always going to get what you want, but you got to keep trying and trying and trying. Interviews, taking long lunches or taking personal days or days off to just keep sending resumes and getting better skills and doing anything you can to get something better. You can't get something better, guys, and improve your lives with a better job or better pay until you're willing to take action. A lot of people just want to fall into their laps. Life doesn't work that way. Harsh reality, but it's the truth. So last December, I told Jen two things have to change or have to happen. We either sell the house and start making more money. The latter would most definitely mean finding new jobs that would pay us a market rate. Jen pushed back on this because she loved the house and her current job. Well, sweetheart, what currently is not working? We are in the hole financially. I love this house too, but we got to work together here. So if we're going to stay in this house, you got to put in the effort, even though you like your job or love your job, to put in the effort to get something better. It's not going to work. I told her she had to choose one and couldn't have it both ways, and after a week of arguing, she agreed we would look for new jobs. It's been almost 6 months now. Last Friday, I signed an offer for a new job. It's an over $35,000 raise for me. Awesome. Good for you. See what happens, guys, when you put in the effort? Took him 6 months, but he got there. Jen, however, has done nothing. Shocker. In January, she asked for a raise in the market rate and was very disrespectfully told by her manager that she's not worth that. Okay. They're not just going to give it to her. Big surprise. So now she needs to go start sending out resumes and doing interviews and all that in her spare time and make the time. That's what has to happen. Period. And then it's interesting when they think you're going to leave, then they'll offer you things. She was shown the door to leave as she wasn't happy. Jen has taken this as her putting in the effort and done nothing else. That's not putting in effort. No. Bullshit. Right there. That's what most people are like in life. And they bitch and complain because they don't have anything else. You know, they aren't willing to take action. And I'm sure I'm going to get people to watch this. They're going to, SSM, you don't understand it. No, I do understand. You have to make the effort in life and anything. And you're not always going to get it right away. It takes time. But people, let's be honest, are fucking lazy. And they get too set in their ways. And it's easier to do nothing and not have to deal with the rejection or go through the hard work and sit around and bitch about it with all the other people bitching about things and actually make the effort. This is why very few people in this world really have the lives they want because they're willing to make the effort. And yes, there are people in this world that are just born into it, and wealthy families and all that, or get lucky. But most people that get where they want is because they actually, take action. I'm in the mood to rant this morning, guys. This is more stuff I talk about on the other channel, but, I'll get to the point. Telling me we should wait and see what happens with my job search. I'm not happy about this, and when I came on Friday and told her I got the job, she got pissy because it clarified this does not mean that she can stay at her job. We fought again and told her this would mean that we only stop hemorrhaging money on the house. We will only be able to save only a little and still not be able to be refilling our 401ks. Kids, the whole reason we got this damn house would be entirely off the table. Hey, marriage is a partnership. It's not all on him, and so she needs to step up too. We haven't talked much about this since yesterday. Her parents visited for dinner, and despite all my best efforts to keep them out of it, Jen announced my new job to her parents by saying maybe I'll stop complaining about the money once I start. She's got a lot of freaking nerve. I don't know why I said it, but I replied with, "Oh, because we'll be divorced by then." Ooh. Well, clearly things are going down the tubes anyway. But don't say it unless you mean it, man. Things got really quiet afterwards, and I excused myself. Her parents left shortly after, and she slept on the couch to avoid talking to me. I've not talked to Jen or her parents since that last night. Things are very cold between us now, and I generally wonder if I did something last night that probably ruined my marriage. Bro, your marriage has been over for a while because you guys are not on the same page, okay? Guys, you got to have some kind of seeing eye to eye when it comes to money. She expects you to do everything, go get the better job, da-da-da. Well, she doesn't do anything. And she just wants to pretend, stick her head in the sand and pretend nothing's going wrong, which a lot of people do. And you are a guy that are doing your part, not her. But yeah, you say something like that, you better say it and mean it, because otherwise it's a whole lot of problems. Personally, your marriage was great, you said, until catastrophe hit one thing after another. That's life, and it usually works that way. But going on this path with her, it's just not going to work financially. You're going to be ruined. So quite frankly, I think after 7 years with her, it's time to really, really reconsider staying married to her, because it's just you're always going to be struggling for money. It's always going to be a problem. But, or you just stay with her and just see how things go. But I don't think she's going to change. And yeah, you're going to take a hit financially, but it is what it is. But this is why it's so important, guys, that you spend years with your girl getting to know her, because during happy times, people can be at their best, but when tough times come, that really reveals somebody's character. And right here, she's showing that she's selfish. Now with his update, he says, yeah, I messed up. People are rightfully tearing me a new one for wondering if this marriage didn't end when the words came out of my mouth. I went to Jen last night to talk, and she refused to say even a word to me. Well, she's not willing to communicate. That's another problem you have. She ended up locking herself in our bedroom and finally told me to go away. I'm scheduling some consultations with divorce attorneys today. I think it's time, man. You two aren't going to last. Some people are asking me about car accidents and family emergencies, mostly blaming them on me. Why are they blaming you on car accidents and emergencies? The car was neither our faults. An uninsured driver hit my wife and fully paid car. Insurance gave us peanuts. The family emergencies were a handful of things that were just unluckily close to each other. I don't think you can really assign blame to these kinds of things. People will probably say I'm covering my ass or something and still blame me. Whatever. The big fuck up was the house, which I'm 50% responsible for. I'm convinced they bought the house because it was in a better area, better school districts for the kids. Or they did what a lot of Americans do, live beyond their means and don't look at realistically look at their budget, what they can afford. And yet Americans complain, I can't afford it. Well, stop buying things you can't afford and be realistic. Stop letting your emotions do all your thinking. Before I wrote this post, I probably should have admitted to myself that I spoke my feelings at dinner and got my wish. So the whole comment section is tearing him apart. Big surprise there. But at the end of the day, this is just not going to last, okay? Really, because it would be one thing if they had all these problems happen to them and she was willing to do what had to be necessary just like him to fix the situation, sell the house and get something they can afford, or make the effort, no matter how long it took, to get a better job to help together, but he's only the one willing to step up here. And obviously, she's not doing anything and wants it all on him. And that's just not cool. That is not a good partnership. And so I would take it as a blessing they haven't had any kids yet and cut his losses and move on, because obviously he's miserable. And I'm sure during all this, they're probably not hooking up. They're probably not very happy. Don't have any fun together. And it's just time to cut ties. And this is why you spent years with your girl getting to know her, particularly her attitude with money. You know, is she more of a spender, a reckless spender? You know, things like that. It just will not work if you're a saver trying to build wealth. Be responsible. So, yes, he did. He did put his foot in his mouth by saying that at the dinner table with the family. But then again, she's been seriously provoking him, making his life a living hell. She was the one that insulted him at the table, saying, about whining and complaining about money. Hello, at least he's being realistic about the situation here. So that's what I think. It's over, end of story. Regardless of him putting his foot in his mouth, she deserved this. She brought this on. It's over, end of story. Stick a fork in it.